Good evening, my friend Stuart from Miami InnerLight here in Kardec Radio, Facebook Live. And I am very happy to be here with you guys. Our studies happens every other week. So today is Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are starting the study of this beautiful book, Among Brothers. If you haven't been with us yet, we are today starting chapter 17. It's another beautiful book from the mediums, and it brings a series of different texts, different subjects, and all very, very interesting, and always a lot of food for thought. So we have to think a lot, we have to reflect a lot, and put everything in practice. The most important thing, putting everything in practice. Many times, people know so much, has a lot of knowledge of many things, but when they have to practice what they preach, then they have lots of difficulties. So that's why we are here trying to exercise, so we are not gonna have so much so many difficulties, such a hard practice in our daily lives. So as we always do, I invite you to have a bottle. We'll bless it with good vibrations, positive energies, so we will be able to drink it through the weeks, and we can always feel better about it. So at this moment, I invite you to just relax, close your eyes for a few seconds while I do our initial prayer. Dear God, beloved Master Jesus, our guardian angels, thank you again for another opportunity of being together, studying these beautiful teachings from Spiritism, from our Master Jesus, by the hands of Chico Xavier and also Valdo Vieira, who both are in the spiritual realm at this time. Please help all of us to be able to understand the text, understand the comments, and most of all, benefit from it. Thank you so much. So be it. Very good, my friends. I am so happy I didn't have any difficulties right now. My computer went crazy, but I am starting always like an hour before, so I restart everything. So that's good. That's good. We're not having more difficulties. Say quick hellos here, and then we. Hello, Matthew. Very good to have you here. And Solange Souza, Margot Malik. Very good. Nice to have you guys. Hello, Sol. Very good. So as I always do, I will read the text. The text today is short. It's only 2 pages. So this is good. We can have a lot of comments. We can have a lot of questions. And also we can have time for our second book, The Gospel According to Spiritism. This book is so important, and a lot of people like, no, I don't want to read it, I don't want to study it. But this is like a book that we can use in every single day, in any type of struggles. We can always use this book. This book here, this is why it's the main book of the Gospel at Home, the Gospel According to Spiritism. People use many different books, But this is really the main source. Anytime you have some kind of issue, some kind of difficulty, think about something, ask God to help you with some good inspiration, and then your guardian angel will help you to open the book in the correct page that will really bring you some relief in your life. So please do not go away, because it's so important, so much happiness. Oh, another Angel Harris. Hello, Angel. Angel to angel. Very good. I'm going to read, and please write any questions or any comments. When I stop, I can read and we can comment together. I hope you can hear me well. No problem. Nobody complains, so I think it's good. So chapter 17, new method of healing. And the spirit who gives us this text is Calvin Van Dyne. This spirit sent many messages through the medium Valdo Vieira. He's psychographic. Many messages from this spirit. But there is not a lot of information about him that I could give it to you. I researched. I found lots of texts, a lot of books, but not really a history about this spirit. If you find, please send me, because it's always wonderful to understand who was the person while incarnated. Okay, let's start. There is a problem in the maintenance of balance and peace that demands reflection. It is the problem of improvement. In order for that to happen on the physical plane, we are perfecting medicine on earth since the Egyptians. The history of a science of healing is one of the most beautiful chapters in human history. Sacrifices, abnegations, heroism, experiences, all has been done in order to heal infirmities and extinct handicaps, diminish trials, and extinguish organic life. Pharmaceutical labs, hospitals, and retreats have been called to the struggle. And any loved one fall ill, they receive our care and resources in order to recover as soon as possible. This is in regard to the body. What about what concerns the spirit? The individual who gets sick of the viscera also falls sick in her mental mechanisms. There are vices of conduct as much as degenerations of the liver. If we provide remedy to the hepatic occurrences, why do we slap of the individual in spiritual perturbation? If we have anesthesia to extract the cancerous formation, use forgetfulness to extinguish the obsessive process that aggravates itself due to pride and vanity, envy, or rebelliousness that one hold in. Why not treating the one who offends as a sick person who is more in need of care than censure? If a friend appears spiritually deformed, be in the face of bitterness or uncharitableness, let us help him or her to get rebalanced. Let us immediately start the providence applied to the confirmed ones. Let us make them feel better. No one gives liquid fire to the bearers of a gastric. We never readjust someone's heart with the flames of criticism. Let us clarify the difficult situations, correct mistakes, and establish the truth. But let us not exceed the limits of human goodness and the responsibility to live. As a surgeon restores the lacerated organ without destroying it at knife strokes. Mistakes do exist, but let us experience a new method to heal mistakes. Let us make the one who makes mistakes feel better. Washington, D.C., USA, June 8th, 1965. Very powerful message and a lot of food for thought. We are always thinking care of our physical bodies. Always, always. You feel a headache, a stomach ache, you have fever. We are always search for doctors to take care of it, and it's good. We should. We really should. And it's another thing that's important. We should do the exams yearly. You know, every year you do the blood test, the urine test, or whatever test, and you should do it because there are diseases that they are called silent killers. Maybe you are suffering from this and you don't know. So it's important for us. And I am really bad with doctors. I am really bad. I should do it. These very common exams like acid uric, like it's not blood pressure, the other ones, I forgot. These ones that are very basic and we all should do every year. I haven't done in 5 years, so I know I have to do it. Just because like a few weeks ago, my mother, who is much better than me, thank God, she haven't done this test like in 2 years and she was feeling excellent. So she decided to go to the doctor to do the tests, knowing everything was fine. But for her surprise, no, it was not fine. It was not fine, and she was very surprised. The doctor immediately told her, whoa, all your numbers are very high. So you will have to do a diet, you have to cut salt, cut sugar, cut everything. And she was like, that's insane, I don't feel anything. And that's when the doctor said, because these are the silent killers. So as we of our physical body, because we don't want to have to pass to the spiritual realm before it needs. We all came, we all reincarnate here with a time frame, but to this time frame to work, to happen well, we need to help, we need to take care of our bodies. But the text is saying about the new method of healing. So if we study for such a long time the healing of the physical body, why don't we study and practice the healing of the spiritual body? The spiritual body. And in Spiritism, we know how the spiritual body is important. We know that a lot of diseases, they come from our minds, and they transform into our physical bodies. We know that the people that are angry all the time, people that are usually are violent, people that are fighting, people that they have like disturbs of they love to talk bad about people. These people usually they create diseases in their physical bodies. So not every disease comes from a previous life and it's like an expiation that we have to go through. No, it must us. And the spirits also in the spirits book, they tell us that most of our diseases of this life, they are from this life. Or we have some bad habits. You eat many things that you shouldn't, or you drink, or you smoke, or you have different types of vices, and all this creates diseases in our physical bodies. I'm still talking about the physical bodies. And what about the diseases of the mind? This is what the text is talking about. We have been researching for such long time about disease, how to cure diseases of the physical body, but we don't really think much about diseases that many times we are the ones who create it. So how can we take how can we take a better care of our spirit? How can we do it? And he gives like a recipe here. We just need to follow. But that's the point. To follow many times is not easy. Let me see if anyone has a comment, a question. I'm not sure if it's only here. It's only here. What, Carla? I did not understand. Oh, sound is cutting off. Really? Can't you guys hear me well? No, please let me know if it's a problem. I can put I don't know what can I do, but I can put it closer to my mouth. See if you can hear better. Oh, Solange said the sound is cutting. Da, 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 da. Okay, guys. So please let me know if the sound is better. I spoke so much. I only paid attention now. So Solange said, hello, Elder. Nice to have you here too. Yes, we should really take care of our physical bodies, going to visit our doctor once a year and doing the tests. I'm guilty of it, but now I'm doing. I have to do it. So just let's go back here. So he mentions that we are perfecting medicine since the time of Egyptians. And you know, the Egyptian civilization, it's a civilization that already knew a lot about the spirits too. So they were working a lot in the physical bodies, but they also had a lot of knowledge of the spirit. They are the ones who believed when your physical body dies, wakes up in the other side. So this comes from that time. And it's funny because the Egyptians believed in this such a long time ago. And until nowadays, most of the population in the planet hard time understanding it. Some of them already believes, but believing and knowing it's very different. In Spiritism, we know. We don't believe. We know. Why do we know? We know because we have so many mediums that brought us proof that the spirits wake up when their physical bodies die. They wake up in the other side. Exactly like this book here. This book here is a proof of it because it's a collection of texts of many different spirits that these two mediums were able to bring it to us. So we understand it. If you had the opportunity to study the books of André Luiz, you know how much he evolved in the spiritual realm and how many beautiful stories he taught us also Emmanuel telling us about his past life reincarnations, in his beautiful books, 2000 years, 50 years ago. It's really Hell Cry. So this is like a collection of novels that tells about his personal life. So we know it. We know it. And if you have an opportunity to work in a, understand it happens, and it's a reality for us. But most of the people in the planet, they still struggle with it. They still struggle understanding that when this body dies, the spirit leaves. Yes, it's not, unfortunately, it's not that we can see or talk to all the spirits, but one day we will all meet again. And this is wonderful. This is really, really wonderful to know that. So he continues. So we have been healing infirmities and extinguish organic calamities since that time. Talks about all the improvements, pharmaceutical improvements, hospitals, retreats, everything that we have been doing for the physical body. And then he says, this is regarding the body. What about the concerns of the spirit? So we think so much about the physical body, but what about the spirit? And then he says, the individual who gets sick of viscera also falls sick in his or her mental mechanisms. Mental mechanisms. There are vices of conduct as much as degenerations of the liver. So vices of conduct. So we should be nice all the time, 100% of the time. But unfortunately, it's not like that. Even us spiritists who are working hard on our improvement, trying to do the best possible, we have days that we are not feeling that good. We have days that we meet someone and brings an energy that switches everything, and suddenly your mind is already thinking something that's negative, or you, even worse, you say something that's not good. So we shouldn't be like that. But yes, we are human beings. We are not perfect. That's why we are here on planet Earth. That's why we are here in Kardec Radio, so we can improve a little bit faster. But we are spiritists, so we should pay attention. We should really careful with what we say, with what we do, so we can little by little improve. And then he continues here. Let me pick up another piece. So if we have anesthesia to extract the cancerous formation, why don't we use forgetfulness to extinguish the obsessive process that aggravates itself due to pride and vanity, envy, rebelliousness? So what is he trying to say? He's trying to say, like, when the physical body needs to go into surgery, nowadays medicine is very developed, so everybody goes under anesthesia. They fall asleep. We fall asleep, and we don't see the doctor cutting our bellies, opening up, blood everywhere. It's a blessing. Oof, thank God. But we don't do the same for our mental diseases, our issues. For example, imagine a person really bad for you or for someone that you love years ago. The time passed, this person apologized, or if this person did not apologize, made amends somehow. Because yes, unfortunately, people make mistakes and they don't have the courage to come and say, I'm sorry, I messed up and I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have said that. People many times, they don't do that. but they feel in different ways. Okay, time passed, you moved on, you don't want to think about it. This is like putting an anesthesia on certain issues, you know? It's like you don't want to revive that type of problem, because when you're reviving that problem, it's like you are putting more, you are like you are like burning it. You don't want to do that. You want to extinguish it. So instead of seeing that person and thinking about the mistake or the bad thing that happened in the past, try to think about something good. Everyone, we all have qualities and we all have defects. Usually when we are angry, we focus on the defects. When we are angry, we do that. Oh, Angela, she talks too much, or her hair is like this, or she only thinks this. But when we are good, oh, Angela, she's so nice. She smiles. Oh, she's this, she's that. That's how life is. Depends a lot on our humor too. So when we are in our good days, we see a problem like it's okay, don't worry, it's fine. But when we are bad, it's like I cannot believe she did this again. But we shouldn't be like this all the time, like woof, woof, like a roller coaster. We should try to be a little bit closer, a little bit steadier. So going that made a mistake in the past. So when you meet this that happened in the past, focus on something good, focus on something positive. Bring the conversation to something positive. So it will be extinguishing inside of you. Yeah, sometimes this flame is going to start coming and calm down, or retreat yourself, remove yourself from the situation if you cannot feel like this yet. If you cannot forgive the person, try to bring yourself out of the situation. But think, at least think. She made that, but unfortunately I probably did other type of mistakes. I probably hurt other people and I don't even know, or I don't even think I did, because many times we do things and we don't even know we hurt people. Some things that for us are so tiny, so little, so minimal, like whew, something that forgot like in a big deal. So we don't know what we did. A big mistake we do is that we think we are perfect or very close to loves us. We think life is an Instagram account. It's like everybody's always like this. Everything is beautiful, everything is wonderful, and it's not true. Other day I saw and the reporter was talking to her about many things, and he was talking about people that help her to prepare to the movie and blah blah blah. And she's saying, "Oh yeah, you see this?" And then she said she was talking about her makeup. Oh, you see all this makeup? I wish just go to sleep and wake up like this. But I don't. I'm pointing to my face like I have a lot of makeup. I don't have anything. I just have a pencil and lipstick. I'm horrible with makeup. In my next reincarnation, I hope I will learn a little bit. But anyway, so she was saying that she wish she could go to sleep and wake up like that. And she said that's not true. Our fans and people in general, they always ask a lot of famous people because they are celebrities. So they have to be 24 hours, 7 days a week, beautiful and perfect. And you know, many times paparazzis take pictures of to the morning, and yes, they don't have all that makeup, and they look like us. Yes, they look like us. They look like normal. So reality is different than TV, than the and perfect. And this is not reality. Reality is something different. To understand reality is something that we have to live with. And our reality may be different from someone else. You know, like maybe for you, it's easy to be more positive, to face difficulties in a more positive way. Maybe your neighbor or your friend, they struggle with. But that's why God created us so different, because our differences can actually help us to get together and we can help each other. And this is so beautiful. It's so important of the mind, like nowadays, depression. Depression is something, it's something crazy. It's like it's everywhere, everywhere. People are getting more and more and more depressed about so many things in life. And I believe social media also causes depression because, as I just said, you see perfect in the life of everyone. And then you think about your life, it's like, phew, my life is so different. But what happened is that what we see in the internet is not reality. Even us, whatever we put, show something good, but you don't live happy the whole day, the whole time. And it's bringing like a lot of pressure, a lot of stress in the life of a lot of people. So moments like what we are having right now are so important because we can talk about, we can reflect, and we can think. Yes, there's a lot of things happening in this beautiful blue planet, this transformation that our whole planet is suffering, not just the climate, but like the spirits that are reincarnating, the diseases we are going through, all kinds of things that are happening. Yes, everything is meant to be for something, even if it's for our own learning, our own. We have to understand how to deal with it. And if you hear someone is depressed, try to extend a hand to the person and say, listen, it is difficult, but it shall pass. Offer a book, offer your ear to talk, to listen. We have to help each other. We also go through difficult times. That's why friends are for, family is for. You know, it's good to have someone that they say, I went through this and it's not easy, but I can give you tips how I did, or whatever. Uh, People nowadays, they live almost like people say that many times they are in a crowded place, feeling they are totally alone. And it's true. Life is so crazy. It seems that we're so busy. We don't have time to say hello to our neighbor. And I remember I lived in a big building, and I was so excited. I moved to Miami. I went to this building. I want to meet everyone. Oh, I'm gonna talk to everyone. And people come and go so quickly. they barely say hi in the elevator. And it's almost like we are crowded alone. And then I moved to a different neighborhood. We live in houses, and I got even more excited. Now I'm going to know all my neighbors. And yes, it was easier for me because I knocked in the doors. I introduced myself. I talked to them. I exchanged the numbers. And then I also found out about an app. Or if you have it, use it. App. I always say to my husband, this is the Facebook of the neighbor. So in this app, you are able to meet people that live very, very close to you. Good, because you can write things, you can ask questions, you can ask, oh, I don't know which day, I don't know, they collect the garbage, and someone is going to tell you. But you can also write, I love biking. Anyone here that would like to bike with me? Start meeting a lot of my neighbors. Create activities. If there is nothing that you can join, create activities. Many times the diseases of our minds is because we don't make our minds to focus on something positive. We end up being alone in the house thinking about, I have too many bills to pay, my salary is low, oh, I cannot, I don't know, I cannot go to Brazil or whatever. You end up thinking about problems. And when you turn on TV, oh my God, sometimes TV makes you feel even more depressed because it's a lot of negative news. It's sometimes I turn on anymore, but I use YouTube live, and then I can see the news from Brazil, and it's a lot of violence. So you end up like getting even more down. So it's good to know I am alive, I have a job, I have a family, I have a computer, and I can talk to you guys. Live, books. Books are our best friend sometimes, because if you are like me, I can take a book. If it's a story, for example, I feel like I am traveling the story, and I can put myself in that story and live that moment. So even if you're going through a difficult time, for that period of minutes that you're reading, you can feel better, you can boost your energy. Another great way to really connect with our minds is meditation. You know, meditation, you don't need to do an hour meditation. For a lot of people, it's difficult, but you can do 5-10 minutes. You can do 5-10 minutes. Put a music, very soft music, close your eyes, and you start thinking about whatever you would like to imagine. This is like you can also do guided meditation. Divaldo Franco has many guided meditations. If you go to YouTube, there are a lot of people doing beautiful guided meditations in English, and they bring you to the ocean, to the mountains. So it helps you to relax your body, relax your mind. For the brief moments, you focus on your breathing. So these are all simple techniques to help us to connect with our minds. So I go all over the place talking about this, but I just leave different things that you can do to focus. Because, you know, if you feel lonely, meeting people is really good. I'm not saying that every person you meet, you will feel like connected. Oh, I found the best friend. But it's always good to meet someone. And it's always good to meet your neighbors. You never know when you need a help. You never know when you need like few minutes of help. Let me tell you a quick story that happened to me. I didn't even read any of the comments. Oh, the sound is bad. Well, guys, I don't understand if you can hear. Are you? Whole planet, but we will. What happened also is that the media make things worse. Media everything horrible. So the people get in my office. If anyone does that, ching, everybody's like, "Are you okay? Are you feeling good? Maybe you should work from home." Crazy, but it's not that terrible, but it's getting, unfortunately, it's getting crazy. Let me see. Solange said, we are blessed to know Spiritism. We understand life better. There is always an answer for everything. To study Spiritism, if we learn how to practice. Exactly, we have to practice. We actually know a lot, but we practice very slowly. Lost connection. Oh my God. Yes, it was interrupted. So my connection was interrupted. It's already 9:44. I don't know. Too bad that my connection is bad again. I'm so sorry, guys. Uh, I can't really understand. I'm here and I have 4 bars of so bad. But what I wanted to talk about the neighbors that I just mentioned. It's like a few weeks ago, a friend of mine called me and he said, your dog was found on the streets. And I'm like, my dog is in my living room. Both. I have 2 dogs now. I said, no. Somehow they escaped. I'm like, fine. But then I start calling my neighbor. Good thing that you're in an emergency. You can just call them and you say, I'm going through an emergency. Could you just take a look at my house to see if everything is okay? And that's what I did. And this is the good thing when you know people that live with you. So I called my neighbor and she said, I don't see your dogs by your front yard, but yes, and I have a big gate, high gate, so it's not that she could jump the gate to close my door. Anyway, in the end, God provided. Uh, I adopted a huge dog who is super intelligent, and yes, he learned how to open my living out. He jumped the gate and he went away. him, and I had recently adopted him. I was still trying to find his real owner. So he got the phone number of a friend of mine, call him to say he found the dog, and that's how this happened. Crazy story. But close this beautiful story here, this last portion here. We never readjust someone's heart with flames of a criticism. So if we improve, it's very difficult when we are attacking this person. Oh, you are really mean, you're really nasty, you do this, you do that. This person is not going to learn, is going to get even angry with you that you are trying to help. But sometimes we try to help in the ways that are not really good. And even if whatever this person is doing is wrong and is really bad, criticizing and attacking is not a way of help. The way of help is really loving and trying to control yourself and trying to think, if I had done something like that, how would I be able to that? The last chapter, the last paragraph really helps. The one before the last. Let us clarify the difficult situations, correct mistakes, and establish the truth. But let us not exceed the limits of human goodness and responsibility to live. So we have to try to see limits in what is really clarifying a point and what is an accusation. Nobody likes to be accused of something. So we really have to have a lot of love to be able to help someone else, because that's the only way we will be able to help a person. But if in a loving way we start saying, listen, I know this person hurt you, she did this, he did that, but maybe if the next time something like this happen, you act like this, and this would be better. So this person will reflect, will say, yes, maybe I should, maybe, who knows. But it's a way to wake up some kind of positive feeling in this person to change the behavior. Way. And then the last sentence says, mistakes do exist. Yes, we commit mistakes every day. Every day. We are not perfect, as I already said. But let us to heal mistakes. Let us make the one who makes mistake feel better. We all make mistakes. So next time we try to help someone, let's really think how I would be helped, how I would like someone to talk to me about the same situation. And this would be much more helpful, much more helpful. And another thing, to help your neighbors, to help, you have to put yourself in a way that you can help. If you want someone to be friendly towards you, you have to be friendly. And to someone, I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't like to that neighbor because he's always like, his face is like, and like, yeah, be like this to you. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you are a different person. You can try something different. You see the neighbor, he's like, oh. You just say, hi, good morning, how are you? The person maybe is going to look the other way, is not going to answer. Doesn't matter. Continue doing it. Continue giving your loving energy, because maybe one day you're going to say, you're going to receive a little smile back. And this will be wonderful, because this is the beginning of something more positive. So for you and for him or her. So remember, to something happen, it has to start within you. For us to teach, to learn, we have to already know that. That's the only way. Someone else to be nice to us, we have to be nice first. That's important. So let's go to our second book, The Gospel According to Spiritism. We spent months in chapter 5. This is the biggest chapter in the Gospel According to Spiritism. Now we are in chapter 6. Chapter 6 is the smallest one. It's really tiny. So it's like will be a piece of cake. So today we are going to be talking about the Promise Consoler number 3. So Spiritists usually all know what is the Promise Consoler. Dun, 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 dun. What is the Promise Consoler? Jesus was the one who was telling us about the Promise Consoler. So I don't want to remind you a little tiny bit that Jesus was actually telling us that when he passed, when he went to meet his Father, he was going to talk to him. Someone or something that was going to help us to be able to understand everything that he couldn't explain to us. And why that? So you have to remember that Jesus was on earth over 2,000 years ago. So 2,000 years ago, we were people very difficult. If we are already difficult now, imagine 2,000 years ago. Imagine in this reincarnation, in this life. So imagine yourself 30 years ago. Maybe you're too young, you can't imagine 30 years. Put yourself 10 years ago. We change a lot. We change a lot. In one life, we already change a lot. We improve a lot. And I have to tell you, age helps. Yes, age helps a lot because we get older, we get calmer, we smile more. Things that used to be so worried, you don't care much about it. So things get better. Things that you used to be super picky, you are not, because you start understanding there are things in life and you're like, you start giving up on certain things that don't require my energy. I'm not going to put my energy in this type of things because it's not important. So I want to focus my energy in what is really important. Focus my energy in what I need to improve. Focus my energy in other people or other things that need my help so I can help them a little bit. So we start becoming a better person. So imagine 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago when the whole civilization, the whole population, we were so brutes. We were brutes. There were no rights for anything. There was just violence. There was the law of the most powerful. And so things were really difficult. People, they were really closed-minded. They couldn't understand a lot of things. This is why Jesus had to talk in parables. He had to give stories to people so people would start imagining the story Jesus would try to understand you. The same people that were living there would die and reincarnate, die and reincarnate, die, reincarnate, come back in a much more purified version with the minds much more open to start accepting and understanding things. That's when he was going to be able to send us the promise. So the promise consoler is the Spiritist doctrine. So the Spiritist philosophy of life that gives us so many answers to things that the people couldn't. That how was the answer to that? I'm not saying the Spiritism will be the philosophy or will be the religion of the planet, because there are always many different religions. But when we continue many times, we continue evolving and learning how to respect each other. So we will learn how to understand and respect our differences. Like nowadays, people fight all the time, Republicans, Democrats, and they go crazy with each other. In the future, it's not going to be like that, because you're going to be able to respect each other, even if the fundamentals are different. People are going to be able to say, it's his or her right to think this is white, and then the other is going to say, but this is gray, so it's your right to think it is gray. And religion will be like this too. Everyone will know and understand and believe in God, like it should be nowadays. Most of people on earth, they have a religion or they believe in something. But most of the people who actually are religious people, instead of trying to find the fault, they focus in their differences. That's why there is so much hate, understanding, prejudices. A lot of people are still very prejudicial against Spiritism because they don't understand. And they just like, no, I don't wanna hear anything about it. I'm talking about my own family. My own family, they have no idea what it is. They are Catholics or Protestants, and they have no idea what it is. Spiritism for them is some kind of thing that talks to the devil. Bad. It's not that they try to read about this, or I don't agree with that. They just don't want to that. But in their mind, the future is not going to be like that. In the future, things will be better. It's like us getting older, like a wine. I don't drink wine, but people people that drink wine, they say old wines are really much better. They're better quality, better taste. It's almost like us. We are getting older. We are getting wiser, softer. Things that we would like to fight, we don't fight anymore. We find beauty in other things. We find beauty in having fun, in relaxing, enjoying life, in beautiful things day by day, and we don't negative. And in the future, that's how it's going to be. Our beautiful blue planet will be our really regeneration. The regeneration phase will be here with the spirits from the regeneration. Us, improved, understanding each other, loving each other, forgiving each other, and the promised consoler that Jesus sent us. The spirits were able to bring all these beautiful messages, and Allan Kardec was able to do this in all the beautiful books of the Pentateuch, the Spirit's book, that there are like about search. So we should really study that book so we can really have an understanding. And when someone asks something about Spiritism, you are not going to say, oh, I think this, but you know this. And it will help you even to talk about to people, to friends, family that would like to understand a little bit. So this is the promise console. So let me just read a little portion here really quickly. It has come finally to bring the supreme consolation to the disinherited of the earth and all those who suffer, attributing a just cause and useful purpose to all pain. So this is beautiful, because when we understand that many times we go through difficult times, not because God wants us to suffer, but because we made mistakes in the past life, and we have to learn with it. We have to learn not to do it again. And it's beautiful to have this understanding that this I'm going through nowadays, I'm evolving. I'm doing a cleansing of my physical body and my spiritual body. So my next life, I'm not going to go through this again. I will have intentions for another life, much, much better, where I will be learning different things. Whatever I couldn't learn in this time, I will learn in the next one, because I'm improving now and I will do this cleansing. So Spiritism is a blessing for all of us. All the religions will embrace themselves, and all the religions will know Spiritism, even if we'll continue coexisting. And it's beautiful, this coexistence, peaceful coexistence will be really a blessing to the whole planet. So my friends, thank you so much for being here. Let's do a quick prayer, and then we will see you guys next week. Dear God, beloved Master Jesus, thank you so much for helping us to connect with the message of the text. Thank you for so many blessings we received. Please send these good vibrations to our friends, our family members, our neighbors, so we can remember how really your teachings came to us and live your word, and we can practice this love for our neighbors. Thank you so much. So be it. Very good, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. I will read, and I will mention, answer, and I hope to see you again and continue with another chapter of this book. Bye bye. Thank you. See you soon.